Denmark is preparing for an historic day. Their beloved, long-serving Queen Margrethe is about to abdicate. And when she does, her son Frederik and his wife Mary will become the new king and queen.
So I've just been handed my flag, and it's about 0 degrees here in the Danish capital at the moment. And although their new king and queen are not due on the balcony over there for another 5 hours or so, it kind of feels like half of Copenhagen is heading towards this square.
We had a shock when she told us New Year Eve, but I think it's a very good decision.
Did you drop your wine glass on New Year's Eve?
I actually started crying a little bit. I was very emotional about it,
Right.
because I didn't think she would do it.
Did you see the coronation in Britain last year?
We were there.
Oh, okay. We had crowns, we had thrones, we had carriages.
We had everything.
You've got like just 2 people going.
5 minutes. That's the event here in Denmark.
And they're not wrong. By British standards, this coronation is a very subdued affair. No crowns, no grand church service. Queen Margrethe simply signs a piece of paper, and with it, her son becomes Frederik X. There is a balcony moment, just like in Britain. And this is what the crowds have come here for. Their new King Frederik, later joined by Queen Mary and their children. After just a few minutes and a show of emotion from their king, the big event is over. So why was this such a big moment for Danes? Every week, Ruth and Inger are picked up from their nursing home by volunteers with bikes to give them some fresh Danish coastal air. They've both seen 4 monarchs in their lifetimes, but never an abdication. The last one here was 900 years ago.
Ruth, Ruth, and Inger, yes? This is for you. Keep warm.
Inger is 90 years old and told us why she thinks the Danish royal family is so popular.
Det fordi de så nede på jorden. Almindelige mennesker. Ligesom vi andre. Der ikke noget snobberier, og vi skal neje eller noget. De helt almindelige.
Like everyone else, Ruth, who is 100, was shocked by the abdication, but thinks it was the right decision.
Det meget fint. Nu kan hun få glæde af at se sin søn blive konge, og måske kan hun give ham en hånd eller en god idé en gang imellem.
Many Danish people say their new king and his Australian-born wife Mary are so popular in part because of how normal and unstuffy they seem. Consider the annual royal run. King Frederik didn't just set it up, he takes part, and he and his family high-five participants as they cross the finish line.
So how many people are taking part in this year's royal run?
95,000.
Wow.
Morten Molholm set up the royal run with King Frederik, who wanted something different to mark his 50th birthday.
So tell me, where did the royal run begin?
He wanted to make an event that was more than the gala parties. He also had this vision that he wanted to make people become more active.
And Morten remembers when the future king met his future queen. It was in a pub during the Sydney Olympics. For Frederik, there really was something about Mary.
At that time, he was young and also a bit insecure in how to deal with all this fuss, being the crown prince and the future king. And she helped a lot to become, a more stronger, confident crown prince.
Yeah.
And the Danes know that.
So what about Denmark's new queen? Born in Tasmania, Australia, with Scottish parents, Mary Donaldson was working as a marketing executive when she met her future husband in Sydney. Suddenly, she was a crown princess on the other side of the world and regularly compared to another future queen, our own, Kate. In Denmark, they love how Mary threw herself into Danish life and learned to speak the language. And ask anyone here, that is not an easy task.
We speak Danish together, of course. We're in Denmark and we do fittings.
With a slight accent, presumably, still?
A bit. Yeah,
yes.
Not much.
Jesper Hovering designs dresses for the new queen, and he speaks to her not in her native English, but Danish.
Everyone in Denmark likes her because also she speaks Danish, so she's becoming Danish.
From what you know of her, and you've worked with her very closely, what kind of queen will she be?
She's going to be perfect. She's perfect. No, she's not perfect, but she's really good in most things she does. I hope they can be king and queen, but be relaxed.
Consistently, poll after poll shows how Danes are overwhelmingly positive about their new king and queen. Frederik and Mary's approval ratings are above 80%. But when you do find them, there are strong voices speaking out against monarchy.
Is this your office?
It is.
Your kingdom?
This is the throne in my kingdom.
For many years, Viggo Schmidt headed up Republic Now, a group which believes Denmark shouldn't have a king or queen, but an elected head of state.
Do you see the change in Denmark as an opportunity, therefore, for your movement to have some success where it's failed before?
In some circles, he's more popular than his mom, but that popularity is a two-edged sword, right?
Yeah.
Because it also means that he's closer to people and does the same stupid stuff, but he's more likely than his mom to do something idiotic. They say that there's so few Republicans and the monarchy has so much support. Right. I think it depends a little bit on how you ask the questions. If I were doing a survey asking people, do you think that people should inherit privileges? Who'd say yes to that?
So what do Danes think when their popular royals do put a foot wrong? It seems not much, if stories about Frederik late last year are anything to go by. The Crown Prince, as he was then, was photographed in Madrid in the company of another woman. She denied suggestions of a romantic relationship.
Why didn't it become such a big story here?
It was a huge discussion at this paper. Should we even mention it? We thought we should, because Danes have the right to know what they're writing about our future king in practically every newspaper of the world.
In the UK, tabloids would not have taken such a hands-off approach. But the papers here reflect the views of the people who are reading them.
A great part of Danes didn't want to know. They want to maintain the fairy tale story.
Yes.
And that can only be done because they're so immensely popular in this country.
Right.
I have no knowledge of what went on in Madrid. But the argument I've heard at many dinner tables is they're grown-up people. They've had a long-lasting marriage. We don't know nothing about it.
Right.
They can do as they please.
And so far, none of it appears to have affected the popularity of Frederik and Mary. Europe's newest king and queen have already been on duty with their family, drawing big crowds. Is Denmark's scaled-back royal family showing others, including our own, how to do modern monarchy in the 21st century?